Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, Gurur Devo Maheshwaraha, Guru Sakshat Param Brahma, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. We are talking about the seer and the seen, the experience and the experienced, how they are one alone, and when they merge into each other, only the truth remains. When the duality merges, only the truth remains. And here it says, how the drishya and drishtatva slowly withdraw and the truth is revealed is explained by a few examples in the next three odes. The first one, कापुरी आगी प्रवेश की आगी घातला पोतास तैसा नव्हे सौरस वेच झाला. No sooner the camphor is put in fire or the fire on camphor, both disappear. Nothing is left behind. Normally, if you burn something, then there is ash as a residue. But when it comes to camphor, what is the residue? Nothing. So both the fire, the camphor is the fuel for the fire, and the fire is eating up the camphor, and eventually when both of them merge into each other, there is no residue left. That means they have become one. So here, whether the camphor is put on in the fire or the fire in the camphor, that is, fire consumes the camphor, both the fire and the camphor disappear in the same way when you put the seer in the seen or the seen in the seer. Seer in the seen, I am watching you, I am looking at you, and you are looking at me. So what is the union here? Do we continue to be separate, or do you completely surrender? What is your intention in the back of your mind? That this teaching taught is going on, it's the expression of that one alone? Is that where your attention is? Or from karma yoga point of view, when we say be 100% wherever your hands are, correct? So when you are 100%, your mind is where your hands are, then time stops, space vanishes, distance vanishes. Similarly, put your attention where the word is meeting you, that is in your eardrum. The moment you become totally in tune with the words that are coming to you from the teacher, you vanish and knowledge takes place. That knowledge is the unstruck knowledge. That knowledge is not having any form. It is beyond understanding. It is beyond analysis. It's beyond logic. Because that knowledge is of the nature of the self. That is what it is. So as long as we are keeping ourselves away from each other mentally, till then duality will continue, world will continue to persecute. But here the topic is not about persecution, here the topic is about union. So make yourself available again and again and again and again. Sometimes we are seeing, sometimes we are hearing. So hearer heard, seer seen, taster tasted. experiencer, experience, knower, known. Continuously this duality is presenting itself in some form or the other. Are we 100% available, or are we only partially available? If we are partially available, then duality will be maintained. If we are 100% available, union will take place. Knowledge is there and then, without a delay. What remains is the pure self. The relative existence of seer and seen is mutually dependent and is temporary. So, the appearance of the wave is temporary. The appearance of the ornament is temporary. So, that one who is appearing as the seer and the seen, hearer and the heard, experiencer and experience, it's only temporary. And we want the temporary to be permanent. That is not possible. That is where we are going wrong. You're wearing your ear. You're wearing? You can hear? Okay. Okay. Yeah, so our job is not to maintain the distance, but to merge. That is what all our observation is showing us. If you do it consciously, there you are. It's happening anyway. It's happening anyway. When do you feel satisfaction? Till you are thinking about food, is there satisfaction? No. But when the food touches your tongue and you become the taster and the tasted become one, at that very moment, the taster also vanishes, the tasted also vanishes, isn't it? You become one. If this example is, or same example I gave last week, the sleeper and the sleeping. So when the sleeper thinking of sleep becomes one with sleep, the sleeper also vanishes, sleep also vanishes from your mind. The desire for sleep vanishes. Same thing should happen here also. Every moment of your existence. The relative existence of seer and seen is mutually dependent and is temporary. So, seer and seen, they coexist. They are dependent on each other. And the truth, it is independent, not dependent on anything, does not need a support of anything. The seer, if there is no seen, the seer has got no job. It vanishes. Seer can exist only if there is a seen. Hearer can exist only if there is a heard, and vice versa. Having talked of non-dual existence, Jnaneshwar Maharaj proceeds to say that the seer-seen is only relative, and what is relative has to disappear. That's what we were saying just now. In their disappearance is the manifestation of the absolute existence. How is explained by an example. Yeka yeka vecha Yeka yeka vechala शून्य बिंदू शून्य पुसिला द्रष्टा दृश्याचा निमाला तैसे होय. 1 minus 1 is 0. This 0 is as good as erased. Similar is the case when the seer and seen are absorbed. 1 minus 1 is 0, but the 0 is indicative of nothingness, absence, emptiness. No object. That is 0. It has got no value. If it is added to something in the relative, then it gives value. But by itself, it has got no value. What is this? 0. What do you mean? It is only a symbol of absence. The absence is indicated by the presence. So what is happening here when you make this sign? 0. Do you have money? No, I got 0 money. So this round is indicative of 0. So that nothingness, that absence, that emptiness is being indicated by the word or the alphabet or number 0, or this signage also. You know? Sometimes we say, do you have that book? You say, no, I don't have. Or you don't even have to speak. So what is this? It's indicative of not having, isn't it? It's a response to that question. Similarly, this 0 is indicative of that absence. In the same way, when the drishya is removed, when the seen is removed from the drashta, so when the seen is removed from the seer, nothing remains. In other words, drashta no more remains as such. Means when the object, subject is the seen, seer, object is the seen. So if the object has been removed, how it has been removed? So from in front of me, object called laptop is removed. Will I see laptop then? Then is the seer born with reference to laptop? No. I am seeing you. If you are not here, will the seer be born? No. Or the other way is that, like the food and the eater and the eaten, the food, the object food, the seer becomes one with it. Again, the food is removed from your as a separate entity. So that is what is told here, that in the same way, when the drishya, the seen, is removed from the drashta, the seer, nothing remains thereafter. That means when the subject and object is removed from the subject, then subject also doesn't remain, object also doesn't remain. In other words, drashta, the seer, no more remains as such. In the drishya, in the seen, the drashta, the seer, has got totally absorbed, or alternatively, if there is a drishya, that is seen, but no drashta, no seer to see, the seen cannot be established. So when you are going to sleep, people say the world is outside, but you are not available to see the world. So is the world available? Is there a seer of the world? Is the waker available? No, it's not there. What remains thereafter is 0, that is the absolute, the absence of duality. So where is the 0? In deep sleep it is 0. Actually, what has happened in deep sleep where there is 0? The seer and the seen, the waker and the waking world, they both merged into each other and you have gone back to the source. You have gone back to being the one infinite reality. But because of the veil of ignorance, we don't see that. That's a different matter. That's not the topic here. The topic is absence also needs to be indicated, but there's no indication here. In that merging, because there is no separation. Continuing the examples, Kim bahuna apuliya pratibimba zhobinaliya zhobi sagata atonia zai zevi. Or just as when the reflected meets the reflection, it disappears with the reflecting, along with the reflecting. When the reflection meets the reflected, for example, when one tries to kiss one's reflection, one comes so close to the reflection that the latter disappears in the reflected, because one cannot see the difference between them. Or again, when one looks into a mirror, although the vision is of the reflection, in In truth, one is looking at one's own face, therefore, one does not look at the reflection but in the reflection. The reflected face is in the reflection. The reflected face is in the reflection. So, you can do this example by yourself. Go to the mirror, go as close as possible. Try to touch the nose with the nose. Try to kiss yourself. Children do it. Huh? And in that, you cannot see the reflection, meaning you and the reflection have become one. In the same way, when the seer is seeing the scene, the seer is the bimba, and the scene is the pratibimba. The seer is the reflected, and pratibimba is pratibimba is the reflected, and bimba means the reflection. So both reflection and the reflected become one. When the two come together, their separateness disappears. See? Same thing you can try, Even now you can try, wherever you are sitting. You look at the whole world, and you can focus on any object that you are seeing, and you become focused and single pointed and more single pointed, and and as you become more and more focused on that particular object, all other objects vanish, and eventually that object on which you are focused, that object will also vanish. And when that object vanishes, you also vanish. This is a principle. Same thing happens in Vaikhari Madhyama Pashyanti Para. The chanter and the chanted both vanish into each other. They both become one. In the meditation we told you. See? For this you have to think a little bit outside the box. There is no conclusion. Don't look for a conclusion like I'm seeing you, you are a conclusion. This camera is a conclusion, you are a conclusion. This book, these words, they are conclusion. They are concluding in. Each word is starting and beginning. But when the merging takes place, there is no conclusion. There is only being. You cannot, what is remaining after the merging is your being. And that cannot be experienced. Once this is clearly known, thereafter one ceases to be troubled by the duality. All that two-ness is only my own glory. Although the conditioning of the reflected face, the duality, was imposed, the moment the reflection is negated, the reflected aspect goes back. The pure face, the self, has nothing to do either with the reflection or with the reflectedness. The face has got nothing to do with the reflecting or the reflected. Nothing. It is complete in itself. If there is reflection or no reflection, there is no addition or subtraction to the original face, isn't it? Same way, there is no addition or subtraction to the pure self, even though the phenomena of that pure self expressing as the seer seen, hearer heard, knower known, waker waking, dreamer dreamt, sleeper slept, sleeping, experiencer experienced. All this duality is, in other words, simple word, subject-object duality. That one supreme self, that pure self that I am, alone is appearing. Appearing is always as if, it's not real. Appearance is a phenomena. It's appearing as subject and object duality. So recognize this in your life. We are not here to fight with the duality. We are not here to destroy the duality. But how can you destroy that does not exist? Isn't it? So, did you create the duality? No, it is already there. So, assess it properly, come to the original self that you are, and stop arguing, fighting, and taking the duality to be real. Instead, if we assess it in this manner, what will be the status of duality? All the duality. Hearer heard, seer seen, smeller smelt, waker waking. What will be the status? That they are all my glory alone. They are all expressions of the infinite pure self that I am. So what will be the status of all the waves? That all the waves are the glory of the infinite waters, isn't it? So from water's point of view, there is nothing called but because we are working it out, the wave wants to become water. In that process, while it is studying the scriptures, it has to come to this conclusion that all the waves are glory of the water. So that wave which was thinking that I am an individual wave has to shift its position to the infinity, and from the infinite point of view, all the initially, from infinite point of view, it will not see any wave. But the penultimate step, that all the waves, the phenomena, are nothing but the glory of the water alone. And that will be the, when it takes that, that is the totality standpoint. When it's talking about all the waves, it is the totality, that they are my glory. From absolute, you cannot speak anything. One step down, totality. So, at the totality level, who is there? Ishvara. At individuality level, this individual, the ego. Ego cannot have the vision of all the duality is my glory. It cannot have. But when this ego keeps thinking that I am that whose glory is all the ways, it loses the ego, or the individuality dissolves in that contemplation. And in its place, the totality or the Ishwaratva expresses. Furthermore, taise rusata drishti drashta drishya bheti yeti teya mithi dohi chi pade. Similarly, when seeing is suspended, the seer and seen meet in such a way that they lose their separateness. Again, same thing, the union of two who don't exist. Or the union of two who are the expressions of that one. Both ways you can look at it. The moment the seer and seen come together, the seeing disappears. There is nothing like the seer and the seen in the seeing. So where pure seeing takes place, meaning where you merge into, the subject merges into the object, then there is no transaction. There is no transaction of seeing, there is no transaction of eating, there is no transaction of hearing, there is no transaction of tasting. Why? The subject and object have merged into each other, just like when you do it with food. Or like when you embrace someone, for example, fully, totally. They lose their two-ness, that is their identity, and become drishti or seeing, or they decide not to come together at all, and witnesshood takes place. So either you merge into that one, or you see the phenomena of seer and seen merging into each other, and you are the witness. Just like you are the witness of the thoughts coming and going, the breath coming and going, you also can observe or be the witness where the in-breath meets the out-breath. What happens when the in-breath meets the out-breath? Two breaths, no? Again, duality. So what happens there? What happens where one thought meets the other thought? There is silence. There is absence. There is only truth expressing at that moment. In Panchadashi, one of the Ananda, in one of the Anandas referred to is Vishayananda. This is in the first chapter of the Ananda. I think that is the 11th chapter. Here the subject and object come together, and this gives the experience of Ananda, the bliss. So, wherever the union of subject and object happens, there alone bliss is. There alone. Bliss is, in other words, pure self, truth, pure consciousness, the witnessing consciousness, and the nature of it is bliss. Is the bliss, the essence of me, which is manifested on account of an object. It is an ananda or of the self which is triggered off by the union between seer and the seen, the Vishaya. The pure self cannot experience ananda. The pure self cannot experience bliss. Just like the sun cannot experience heat and light because it is its nature. Similarly, pure self cannot experience existence, consciousness, bliss as separate to itself. So it's only this language is used or is helpful only in the relative, only for us who are the seekers. So when we talk about bliss, that is our experience. When I put the food, the sweet meat on my tongue, or the nice melting Lindt chocolate or Swiss chocolate, no words, it's bliss. Same thing when I go into the deep sleep where the waker and the waking world merge into each other, or we discard the complete waking world, all the objects of the waking world we discard, then what is left behind? Nothing. Nothing is not a thing. You go back to being the self in deep sleep, and that is bliss. So when we, with reference to the sleep, we call it blissful sleep. In the pure self that I am, there is no two-ness. The two-ness is only two names given to separate them from each other. This two-ness, which is really oneness, is like the same ocean being called by Bay of Bengal at one place and the Indian Ocean at the another. So, just like you are one human being, and at one place with reference to someone or something, you are called as husband, and with reference to someone else, you are called as son, and yet another someone you are called as father, isn't it? So where is this? Where is the father, son, and the husband? They are existing in their own absence. Then who is real? Man or woman. Exactly the same way. Here it is told that where are we? We are here. They lose their two-ness, that is their identity, and become drishtya. In Panchadashi it is told, and sorry, I was looking where we are. In the pure self that I am, there is no two-ness. The two-ness is only two names given to separate them from each other. So this is only two names, two imaginary names. I am a husband and I am a son. These are just two names in your mind. But you are the same person. And we have got identified with that name that we have given to ourselves of that role so intensely, so fully, that we start behaving funnily. And we stop behaving like a man. Isn't it? That funny behavior is called individuality. So we have forgotten that we are the pure self, and we start behaving as a conditioned self, as the body. And this is called as the funny being that we are. This two-ness, which is really oneness, is like the same ocean being called by two different names. More examples are given to make the point. Sindhu पूर्वा परा न मिळती तवची सागर मग ये कवट नीर जैसे होय. So long as the eastern and western oceans do not meet, they are oceans. Once they meet, they are water only. The different names given to the eastern and western oceans are valid so long as we refer to particular areas. So you go to the south of India, the Cape Comorin or the Kanyakumari, and there you will see three oceans meeting: the Bay of Bengal, the Indian Ocean, and the Arabian Sea. As long as your attention is on, you look left, it is the Arabian Sea. You look south, it is the Indian Ocean. You look at east, it is the Bay of Bengal. And how do you make out that they are separate? Because the color of the sand of each of the three oceans is different color. And you can see that there. So because of the sand, the ocean is different. Or ocean is sand or ocean is water? Ocean is sand or ocean is water? So with reference to sand, you say these are three different oceans. But when you look at the water, there is no difference. As you move your hand in the water, it is the same water. So long as they do not meet, they are considered separate. In the union of different seas, there is nothing but water. And what is that meeting? Differences vanish. Separation vanishes. Water alone is the reality. The differences, the two-ness is not the reality. When the two-ness disappears, there is neither the seer nor the seen. So the example of the two oceans was taken to emphasize that the seer and the seen are actually, either you can take it that they are not there, they are illusory, or they are phenomenal, or if you see that they are the second way is, if you take them to be expressions of the same truth, appearing as the two, then when the subject meets the object, the moment meeting happens, the union happens, the differences vanish and only the unity remains thereafter. बहुपेहे त्रिपुटी सहज होतया राहाटी प्रतीक्षणी कायठी करी तसे. In his sport, every moment many triputis are manifested naturally. Does the Atma remember them? every moment the triad is being born. With every sound that you are hearing, there is a hearer, the heard, and hearing taking place, correct? Every moment, with every word that is coming to you. From the pure consciousness point of view, from the Atmic point of view, is the Atma, without the Atma, can the Triputi take place? No. Is the Atma remembering all the Triputis that are coming and going? Are you remembering all the dreams that are coming and going every day? No. Similarly, is the Atma remembering all the triads of subject, object, and the instrument of knowledge which creates a thought in your mind? Is the Atma aware of all the thoughts? No. Then who is aware? Individual. Individual is aware. And that also is an imagination. Does the Atma remember them? If you are Atma, you cannot remember the Triputi. This Triputi of seer, seen, seeing is eternally going on at every moment. It is unintentionally going on. This is its own nature. Life is just a series of Triputis. Life is just a series of thoughts as we know it at this moment. Are you creating them? Are you maintaining them? Are you destroying them? Very simply put, life is nothing but a series of triads, and that triad is waker, waking world, waking experience, dreamer, dream world, dream experience, sleepers, absence and its experience. Did you create the waking? Did you create the dream? Did you create the sleep? Or it's happening? It's continuously going on. Similarly, in each waking and each dream, all the various triads that are going on, they are also just happening. You are not creating them. The perception of the world in the form of experience, experienced and experiencer, experienced and experience is natural, sahaja. So if the eyes are there, it is natural that you will see. If the ears are there, it is natural that you will hear. If the mind is there, it is natural to for the mind to go through waking, dream and deep sleep, which is each a triputi, a triad. It is only what when one starts labeling them as good or bad. Oh, sorry, one before. The perception of the world in the form of experiencer, experienced and experience is natural, sahaja. It is eternally going on in itself. There is neither merit nor demerit. You have not gained anything by the variety that presents itself in waking and dream, and you have not lost anything when you are in the deep sleep where absence of duality is there, absence of objectivity is there. You have not lost anything. It is effortless. It is only when one starts labeling them as good or bad that the individuality is born. When the triputi ends, there is no individuality. So all our sadhana, whether you say chitta vritti nirodha, whether you go vaikhari madhyama pashyanti para, or when you go through dharana, dhyan, samadhi, or you go through the kundalini, or you go through the kriya yoga, all of them is bringing you to a point of unison, and that unity or unison is the result of all multiplicity or all duality dissolving away. all duality dissolving away. But here we don't need to dissolve anything. We have to just understand that it is getting dissolved anyway. That's a smarter way. That is the Sahaj way, by being the witness. Life without individuality is Paramatma. So what is individuality? Identified existence. What is Paramatma? Independent existence. What is Jivatma? Individuality. Consciousness expressing through a conditioning is Jivatma. What is Paramatma?
Absolute.
Huh?
Absolute.
Absolute or conditionless consciousness is Paramatma. So which one do you consider yourself? You consider yourself that you are consciousness, that is true, you are consciousness. Which consciousness you accept yourself to be? The one who is expressing through the body, or the one who is expressing which is of the nature of independence? If you say, I accept myself as the one which is independent, but your eyes, your mind is showing that you are expressing through this body, then how do you look at this phenomena of consciousness expressing through body? You remain a witness of it. Don't give it too much value. Don't give it too much credence. Don't get attached to it. Life without individuality is Paramatma. So, is there individuality there in sleep when you are sleeping? No. So, where are you? You are one with yourself. Between the two breaths, between the two thoughts, where there is no object, are you there? Yes. But which one? Individual or the Paramatma? Paramatma. Life without individuality is Paramatma. Does Paramatma, the pure self, remember all these triputis, the triads? We do not remember these triputis in our life because they are not essential. The essence is the pure self. Don't give too much value to the memories. Don't collect memories. And don't feel bad if you can't remember anything.
It's nice to know.
Yeah. Don't feel bad. Be focused that you are the pure consciousness. Memory or no memory is your glory. Sometimes you express as remembrance, sometimes you don't. Don't succumb to it. This versus that. Both you are. We do not remember these triputis in our life because they are not essential. The essence is the pure self. We are, each one of us, the divine self. We do not realize this, but the Mahatmas in their great vision do. Ramakrishna Paramahansa told Narendra, and Narendra is the one who became Vivekananda later on, Swami Vivekananda. When you accept me as Guru, it is out of suspicion and doubt. But when I accept you as my divine child, it is out of wisdom and conviction. So, right now, when we are listening to this text, these words of Amrutanubhav, and again, we are being told that duality is an illusion, duality is a phenomena, that when the subject and object merge together, which is happening every moment, that if the object is removed, only you, the pure consciousness, remain. Do we accept it, or do we have suspicion and doubt? Suspicion and doubt is in the bag of individuality. But the truth is that you are the truth. Where there is no suspicion and doubt, that is the truth. Therefore, all the three aspects of the Triputi deserve only to be devalued. So, seer has to be devalued, seen has to be devalued, seeing experience is also to be devalued. Don't give too much. Oh, that is very refreshing. So, I have to devalue the listener, I have to devalue the listened to, and I have to devalue the listening. Then what should I do here? Why do I come to the class then? Why do I attend the Zoom? If I have to devalue the listener in me, the listener, if I have to devalue the listened to the teacher and the listening experience, because on your own you will not be able to do it. Here, when we remind you, maybe it clicks some moment. Again and again we are re-emphasizing to the mind that these three have to be devalued. They are existing in their own absence. You are the truth. When the experienced is devalued, the experience loses his life. The moment the experience has lost his life, there cannot be any experience of any consequence. Yes, you are outside and you see a child sleeping, and you say that he is living. But when you are sleeping, can you say that you are living? When you are sleeping, can you experience that you are alive? No. That thought will not come. See? The moment the experiencer has lost his life was dependent on what? On experienced. A thought has a life, the thinker has a life, because I am an individual, no? I am the ego, I am the one, I am that I whose diet is all other things. So, I as a seer, the diet of the seer is seen, the diet of the taster is tasted, the diet of the experience is experienced, the diet of the knower is all the known. You understand? When the diet itself is taken away, when all the objects are taken away, here that's what it's saying. The moment the experienced has lost his life, so he was alive only in reference to something. And that was popping him up. I am the father also, I am the husband also, I am the son also, I am the uncle also, I am the employee also, I am the owner also. But if you take the husband, you take the wife, you take the parents, you take the children, you take the house, you take the job, take everything away, what happens to such people? If you don't have this knowledge, they go into depression, isn't it? They lose the plot. Here it is told, when all the objects are taken away, the experiencer cannot have any experience because there is no object to experience. He has gone back to being the truth. He has gone back to being the truth. Catch this in your life. Thereafter, the Triputi come and go, but I, the substratum which is supporting all of them, continue to be. So once I have recognized that I can exist as I thought, I can exist as I thought, I can exist as a subject only with reference to object. When all the objects have gone away, either in meditation, either in japa, either by being in the moment, and we experience, hey man, I'm independent, I'm not, or while listening to satsang, that I'm independent, I'm not the experiencer nor the experienced, I'm not the knower nor the known, they are my glory. The coming and going of the thoughts, the triputis, it doesn't make an impact on me. I still continue to be. This is a healthy state. Thereafter, the Triputi, once you come to know that you are the witness of all the triads coming and going, thereafter no thought can enslave you. Then such a disposition is called as Ishvara. You have become the master of your mind. You are not the slave of your mind. Once one has gone through so many experiences, so many triputis, we remember some, we forget many. This remembering and forgetting is because of I. Therefore, in I, the Supreme Absolute, nothing is added by remembering, nothing is lost by forgetting. So, where is all the remembering? In the individual. Where is all forgetting? In the individual. And who is an individual? An illusion. Who is this individual? All the father, seer, taster, all the ear is the ending. All the erring eyes which are born out of reference, an imagined continuity of all these eyes is called individuality. But actually there is no individuality. See how beautiful it is. One has gone through many experiences, so many triputis, we remember some, we forget many. This remembering and forgetting is because of I. Look at this also. When we used to remember all the phone numbers, I was there, and when I forget all the phone numbers, still I am there. I'm noticing that before I could remember, now I can't remember. Why get identified with forgetting? This remembering and forgetting is because of I. Therefore, in I, the Supreme Absolute, nothing is added by remembering, nothing is lost by forgetting. So, in the waters, nothing is added by appearance of the waves and nothing is lost by the disappearance of the waves. Similarly, those waves, apply it on yourself. Those waves are the triputis. Each triputi is one wave. So, coming and going of the triputis does not add or subtract anything from the witness conscious that you are. You are complete. I can neither know myself, nor remember, nor forget myself. So then, but we keep talking about I have to know myself, I have to realize myself. That is only to give impetus so that we become focused, we become self-oriented, so that we come to the scriptures, we come to the satsang, we come to a proper understanding of our true nature. But when we understand it, there is no understanding. When we come to be, then it was there was no journey. It's a journeyless journey. That's why J. Krishnamurti, after towards the later end of his life, he says, "Oh, you don't need a guru, you don't need a God, you don't need any support, you don't need any scriptures." He's right. But come to that point and then say, from the beginning itself, if you say and don't believe it in what you are saying, then it's a problem. Then it's a lost opportunity. What he's saying is correct. Self does not need. You are the self. But as long as you consider yourself to be an individual, that is, consciousness expressing through the body or through the triputis, till then you need the guru, you need the teacher, you need the references. And that is going on. You don't need it, it's going on. Now, when you come to a guru, when you come to the scriptures, you are taught a new way to look at the experience that you are having. And in that new way of looking at the experience, you lose the individuality. That's it. And when you lose the individuality, and still waking, dream and sleep will be going on for the rest of the world. Then you come, then there's no fear of loss, and there's no excitement of gain of the triputi. I can neither know myself, nor remember myself, nor forget myself. Self is not a concept to be remembered. Self is not an object to be forgotten. You are the self. And if you understand this, that I cannot know myself through the mind, I cannot remember myself through the mind, nor can I forget myself through the mind, and mind functions by way of triputi, thoughts. So you are beyond the thoughts. You are beyond the triputi. See? All these functions are with reference to the duality, not with reference to one's own essential being. So why this language? This language is we are speaking this language in relativity. But once we come to be the absolute being, this language has got no meaning. The pure consciousness absorbs the specific expressions like seer and seen, and then manifests as the unmanifest. This is explained in the next OV. We'll look at it in our next class. Enough for today. So, enjoy the contemplation. Otherwise, we just keep filling ourselves up with more and more words. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Just sit quietly for some time.